Hello students, in this module I'll be talking about entomophily in salvia. Look, listen and learn. So they say that few plants develop special mechanism to favor insect pollination, and case in point is this beautiful flower of salvia. Now remember, salvia produces lever mechanism. Now this is a special mechanism by which it favors insect pollination. Let us understand how it really works. So remember, the flower of salvia is bisexual flower, which means it has got both stamen and carpel. And also remember that the plant is protoandrous, or the flower is protoandrous, which means the androecium develops before the gynoecium. Is that okay? Now let us see how the lever mechanism really works. To understand that mechanism, let us see a picture depiction of the flower. Now what you basically see here is a flower of salvia, and I've taken a section of it. Okay? What you see here is a divaricate connective. Now remember, salvia has got two stamens and they are attached to a divaricate connective, which means a connective that is bifurcated, right? Such that upper branch is attached to the fertile anther lobe and that lower branch is attached to the sterile anther lobe. And this is how the two stamens or the two anthers or anther lobes are attached to the divaricate connective in salvia. Now let us see how the insect pollination really happens. So once again, what you see here basically is the flower of salvia, right? Now, what will happen during insect pollination is that an insect would visit the flower. Initially, it would sit on the outside. Then slowly, in order to get to the nectar, it will try to move inside. And just observe what will happen when the insect tries to move inside. Just observe. See that? What happened? It did something. It basically did what was that the lower sterile lobe got pushed inside, as a result of which the upper fertile lobe got pushed down, or it bends down, and this is called as the lever mechanism. It just works like a lever. Once it pushes the sterile lobe, the fertile lobe comes down. And what will that fertile lobe really do? Why it is called fertile? Because now it is going to release these pollen grains, which is going to stick to the back of the insect, right? And then later on what will happen is when this insect carrying the pollen on its back visits another flower, and this time this flower has a mature gynoecium, which means the gynoecium has now developed. So what will happen during insect pollination, when this insect goes to the other flower, it will deposit those pollen grains onto the stigma, and that is how pollination will be achieved. And this mechanism, which you just saw in salvia, was called as the lever mechanism. Is that okay? Now what you see here is the real image of what is going on. Is that okay? At the bottom, what you see is the flower of salvia before the entry of the bee, right? What you can see there is the sterile anther lobe. Now what happens when the bee visits the flower and it pushes onto the sterile lobe, then the fertile lobe of the anther moves down and the pollen from the fertile lobe then sticks onto the back of the insect, and then this insect will carry the pollen to the next flower and insect pollination or entomophily will be achieved. And this special mechanism of entomophily, specially seen in the flower or the plant of salvia, is called as lever mechanism. Is that okay? And this is the special case of lever mechanism of entomophily seen in salvia. So in this module, I've talked about entomophily in salvia. In the next module, I'll be talking about yet another type of pollination, which is called as bird pollination, or also called as ornithophily. Till then, thank you and take care.